Hey y'all, welcome back to InDFlix. Welcome to episode 9 of Love is Blind UK season 2. With weddings just days away, the couples gear up with stag and hen festivities, outfit fittings, and emotional conversations. But not everyone makes it to the altar. This episode brings big shifts. Let's unpack it. So the episode kicks off with the ladies going dress shopping, the men go and look at tux, and they are made aware that Katisha and Javen are no longer a part of the cast and decide to go their separate ways. You know, each lady has a chance to try on dresses with Bardha. It was a very emotional moment because her mother was there, and we've learned in prior episodes of her mother's health condition and being diagnosed with cancer. So she explains like this was big for her, you know. There could have been a chance where she didn't have this experience with her mom. So I'm happy that she was able to have that with her mom. She looked absolutely stunning. I think she probably looked beautiful in anything. And you could just tell when she was talking amongst the women, and even when Jed was talking amongst the men, they really are here for each other. Kieran is also very confident in his decision at the altar. And I don't know. I feel like he's a little bit too confident for you not to have any kind of like worry. I don't know. Maybe it's not enough time. Maybe it wasn't enough for him to see if there was like any, cracks between him and Megan. But I don't know. I'm hesitant of how it will end up at the end when they're both at the altar. But he right now, we know Kieran's for sure, yes. Sarover also has a moment, just reflecting on how she's been as a woman growing up in her family. I'm very happy her mother has came around and gave her, so much support in this after meeting with Cal, because that was one of the biggest things that they were kind of like struggling or dealing with. And then Cal's brother too, like when Cal was talking to his brother, he seemed like he was in support. So they're another couple I feel very confident about. Billy is still on the fence and hesitant about what he's going to decide when it comes to Ashleigh. Ashleigh, I feel like we all know, is a yes for sure at the altar. Billy is still going back and forth between this whole job situation. I get it, she travels, but you knew that in the pause. It's so aggravating. Like, why all of a sudden now you knew this was coming? Like, it's no way you were like, oh, I'm gonna wait a week before the day of the wedding to be like thinking about this harder. You should have thought harder when you asked her to marry you in the pods. So he's having conversations with his dad about it. His dad telling him like, look, stop thinking about your past, which is good advice, and focus on what she can do for you now. So they have their stag and hen festivities, which we in America call our bachelor and bachelorette. And girls got together, guys got together. Obviously, they get to meet up with their friends that they select to hang out with them as well. And, it wasn't nothing too crazy. The guys were at a bar, the girls were at a bar, and there was like a small little drag show. And there were only like a select few conversations that were worth highlighting. So Bardha talks to her girls, and she opens up that recently her and Jed had a argument. And, they've been kind of smooth sailing this whole time outside of the pod. So this is like their first big argument. Apparently, they went out for dinner. Jed said, look, I don't want to make a big fuss about this. I want to take care of dinner because, they're both dominant or alpha people. So I guess sometimes they switch back and forth of who pays. But he wanted to cover it. And I guess she had just a natural reaction that when the check came to pull out her card, and he felt some type of way about that. He didn't feel like he was being heard. And I guess after that, it just got awkward and cold between the two of them. And then from Jed's point of view, everything what Bardha provided was correct, but he just feels like the communication is off between them. Like, and obviously this is going to be something that they're going to have to work on progressively. Like, especially if she's been so content for so long, being independent, not relying on anyone but herself. And he also needs to be open to that too. So I don't think it's a huge thing. I do think it's okay that they did have this argument because it'll show how they're able to deal with it and hopefully are able to get over it. Ashleigh also has a conversation with her sisters and discloses Billy's hesitancy about their marriage because of her job. And this kind of twists Ashleigh's sister's thoughts and feelings towards it. I guess because this is the first time hearing that there was an issue about her job, and they know how much Ashleigh is good and enjoys and loves her job. They just don't want her to get hurt. And they're sisters. Like, they're going to be protective. They want to make sure she's good. And it is something Ashleigh needs to consider. Like, you're 100% in. This man is still not, even though he knew from the beginning what you did for a living. So I do think that is something that she does need to think on, even though she's saying, like, I didn't sign up and get this far just to say no. It may be a smart decision on your end to do that if you feel like someone isn't as confident, even when they're given upfront information. And Billy even mentions to Cal that if the wedding day was tomorrow, his answer would be no. And I feel like that's gotta be a flag right there. If you feel that, and mind you, the wedding day is only a few more days. So what from tomorrow and maybe 3 or 4 more days, what's really going to change in between that time? I don't know. It makes me question his motive this whole time because, again, you knew what this girl did for a living. And you said prior you wouldn't date someone in this field. Child, I'm not going to be surprised if Billy says no. I'll be more surprised if he says yes, even after all of this. And then I'm like, what was all this for at the end of the day? In this episode also is the time where the couple separate, so they pack their belongings and they leave the apartments. And I think this is really good because they all get to decide on what they actually want to do. They get time apart because they haven't been apart literally since the pods. So now this is their moment of being apart, being in their own thoughts, and figuring out what they want to do come their wedding day. Obviously, there are a few couples I feel more positive about, like Jed and Bardha and Cal and Sarah. I'm a little again still hesitant about Kieran and Megan and Ashleigh and Billy. So those two, I'm looking forward to what happens on their wedding day. But everyone else, I really hope they take the time, think things through, so they can make the best decision for themselves. So it's wedding day, and the first wedding is Bardha and Jed. Bardha's getting ready. She's telling the girls, look, we've had hiccups even when we were apart. We've had a few more hiccups, but I think she's feeling really confident. The same thing for Jed. He explains that to his guys as he's getting ready. Like, I feel like they both know they're good. Obviously, them coming down the altar, Jed looked really nice. He came down with his parents. Bardha the same. She looks absolutely stunning. Came down with her parents, and their vows were beautiful for each other. I think they wrote perfect vows, expressed their love for each other, and I still feel like they're a yes in my book. And the episode ended with the ball and Bardha's court on whether or not she's going to say I do, which is the cliffhanger. So again, if y'all believe she's going to say yes, leave it down in the comments. Episode 9 is all about the pressure cooker. Doubts, insecurities, and practical challenges are taking center stage. Some couples are still glowing with confidence, while others are cracking under the weight of reality. The stage is perfectly set for the wedding episodes to come. Thanks for watching my recap of episode 9 of Love is Blind UK Season 2. Which couple do you think will actually make it to the altar? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more Love is Blind recaps right here on InDFlix. The final stretch is going to be wild.